I'm uploading some data to the Mac from my phone. So this is called Data Sync, where I can beam my data from my phone to my Mac without wires. Hi, my name is Jim Kirker, and I'm the author of Spark Journal. This is my Mac version. It works on a Mac desktop. The reason why this exists is because I'm not really a phone user. I was happy with my flip phone back in the 90s. I like the big screen. I like working on a desktop. And I work on a computer all day long, so using my phone is kind of like being at work again. So personally, there's just not enough space on these phones. They're too small to really analyze your game, to analyze your stats, and to make decisions. I think an iPad or iPad Mini, twice the size of this phone, is a lot nicer. But getting to like an iPad Pro 13-inch, that's just way too big and heavy. I'm not going to lug my iPad Pro into a bowling center. No way. That's not going to happen. For me, it's going to probably be the iPad Mini. But let's go ahead and look at the Mac version. This is the home screen. This is where you get all your stats. It's pretty explanatory. Your top 5 strike balls, your top performing spare ball, your top scoring oil patterns, and some graphs and charts. This is the original reason why I wrote the program. I just wanted to keep track of what I was doing at different bowling centers. Like I go to Vegas 3-4 times a year to bowl. I got to pick up where I left off. But I never have notes, or I lose my notes. I misplace them, or I can't read my notes. I don't understand them, what I wrote. That happened quite often. So I ended up writing a computer program to just help me write notes. This is a sample of the Orleans. The last time I was there, the last time I bowled. It was quite a while ago. I think about a year ago. We'll look at game 3. That was my best game. Yeah, I started with the Jackal Ambush. The cover stock was just way too strong, and that's why I wasn't getting the X's. I finally balled down to the Crimson Jackal and was able to string up some strikes and produce a much better score. But it was too late by then. The tournament was over. The way Spark Journal works is it's based on events and then blocks and games. It's an event-driven system. So an event would be like a tournament. It would be like a league that you're playing in. Blocks would be like some tournaments have 4 or 5 blocks where you show up twice in the morning and once in the evening, and then do 2 more the next day. Leagues, it's once a week. So each block you add would represent a week of your league. So we'll go ahead and look at my current league. This is just basically a summary of your performance that you can quickly glance at and confirm that your data is correct. So we'll go to games. We'll pull up the same league, and I just added data using the data sync. So I got a fresh game to look at right now. Let's see. Okay, this is called Advanced View. It was actually originally called Flaming Dragon. That's why you see the little Flaming Dragon icons here. Flaming Dragon means you got to strike. It's vertical to represent the left lane and to represent the right lane, because you're bowling 2 games. You're battling 2 sides of a pair, the left side and the right side. So by flipping the scoreboard this direction and by listing the pins that you left the previous time, you can start to see when you're going over or under, like you're short of the pocket, or you're past the pocket, you're drifting, so you can make faster adjustments, or you could change balls. So it's clearly evident in my game 1 that I had a couple shots that were short, and I had one shot that went a little too far left. But overall, considering I put 230, I put 237 up with a Brunswick Rhino Ivory Pearl Pro. Wow, what a ball! I didn't realize that ball was that strong. But it turned out to be the right ball at the right time on the right pair. Yeah, that was a real good matchup. Here you can, I got a little bit of AI built in where I already added this to the iPhone version. This is my code analyzing your game. So the goal is to break the code down one more level to where on your phone I can analyze your game frame by frame and give you hints. Say, hey, you're coming up short in the pocket. You need to make an adjustment. That's the ultimate goal. I bowl in a league where we change pairs every game. So I'll start on the left side, and then next game right side, third game left side, or vice versa. That's why we have the left lane, right lane. And by selecting left lane, right lane, it also stacks your frames up in the proper order. Your odd frames will be on the right, or and your even frames will be on the left, and vice versa. You could take lane notes, how the left side played, how the right side played. And I wrote a camera app on the phone where you could take a picture of the scoreboard. And the purpose of this is to, let's say you're driving home from league, you get home, you start thinking, wow, I really blew it. I didn't bowl that great. But if you look at it again and at the scoreboard photo, and you look at the actual playing field of what other people bowled, and if you realize that you're top of the board, you should really go back and rethink your thoughts. If you're top of the board on the playing field and you think you just bowled really, really horribly bad, you should think again because you just bowled really, really well. So it's to help. It's to help you understand what the entire playing field did when you look back in the past. This is one of the AIs that I wrote. I developed on the Mac. I ported it over to the phone. The goal was to first figure out where the scoreboards are, and then to be able to read each bowler's scores. But it got really hard using OCR because the scores are a little bit crooked. This was the best I can do. We could look at a frame. This was my original intention of AI, where I thought maybe you would analyze each frame to see what went wrong. So I built these questions to kind of make yourself think, like, was I playing in the right area? Did I have the right ball in my hand? Was my speed too slow? Was it too fast? Did you really hit your target? A slight miss is okay. What did the ball really do, or did you have any physical errors? Also, framed review notes. You could write a note on that particular frame. And the purposes of that is for the AI to be able to read that note on that particular frame. And it's an additional data point, an additional piece of data that you feed into the AI. We have a ball library. Which ball should we look at? We'll look at Promo Ghost. This is my best performing ball so far. I really do like the ball. Here I show you the ball stats, its specifications. Like my best game's a 202. My worst is 102 because I didn't move left. I got 171 frames, probably about 17 games. My splits are low, 7%. Strikes, 36.8. Let's call it 37. I don't leave that many 10 pins with it. You figure I rolled 171 shots and I only left 10 pins. That's not bad. I leave a lot of 9 pins with all my bowling balls, I found out. So I have 4 pages of games here. Here's my 202. Here's a 214. Oil patterns. We got an oil pattern library. So I'm bowling on Mark Mark Roth right now. See, Billy Hardwick was in the beginning of the season. So let's look at Mark Roth. Well, actually, Billy Hardwick, I got 39% strike rate. And Mark Roth, I got 25% strike rate. Mark Roth, I got off to a slow start. I didn't realize it's more house pattern like, but still sport pattern at 31 or 32 milliliters or something like that. What is it? It's 33 milliliters. Yeah. Yeah, this was the original purpose of the program was to just write notes, just so I could just remember what I did the last time. Go back and look at oil patterns again. I'm missing something. No, that's it. Here we have coaching. After you've bowled 45 games, I begin to aggregate your performance, go through your performance, and I will aggregate lessons for you. So before 45 games, you get the, which lesson is that? Skid, hook, roll, the basics to rolling a bowling ball. Um, by 45 games, you're going to get your first lesson. So for me, I ended up in a tie where I got two lessons, and I didn't really know how to handle the tiebreaker. So I just figured, okay, give them both. Nine pin basics and flat 10. And here's what a lesson looks like. This is skid hook roll, where basically I talk about, with Andre's help, of course, Coach Andre, I talk about how a ball is supposed to properly roll through the cycles and what it's kind of supposed to look like as it enters the pocket. With 10 pin basics, I try to explain to you why the 10 pin was left so you can get a better idea of how to adjust. If you can get a better idea of the physics, it's kind of like a rack of pool balls of how the ball is supposed to actually go through all those pins and knock them all down and kick out the corners. Um, you can see it's like dominoes if you kind of follow the schematics of how the pins move as your ball flows through it. So here on the 10 pin lesson, you can see that the six gets kicked out at too high of an angle in front of the 10 pin, and that's why the 10 pin snaps. So yeah, I got this locked down. I can't show you the other lessons because you have to complete the lessons first. You have to show significant progress on in your stats. You know that you're getting less 10 pins or less 9 pins before I call the lesson complete and post you the next lesson. And here we have chat. The purpose of chat was to be able to use a chat style interface to access your data. And it was for experimenting with AI, trying to figure out how to write AI for a Spark Journal. So I do all the development on the Mac version, and then anything that works out well, I port it over to the phone version. I port it over as best I can. Um, but you got to remember, those phones are small; they're tiny. It's really hard to cram all that stuff onto that phone screen. I have to do these vertical layers in order to make it all fit. So yeah, this is the Mac version. Oh wait, there's some other stuff to show you. These are chats that I worked on earlier. I'm not going to bother chatting because it's time consuming. What's the difference between this is kind of a free question, and I was really surprised I got this good of an answer. Um, yeah. So here, where the settings are, um, there's the linear scoring and there's advanced scoring. It defaults to linear scoring, where your scores go this direction. You have to turn on advanced scoring if you want this one. You have to turn it on. You have to go to settings and turn it on. And here in settings, you can take a look at it. You can click this box. We have some data management. This is how you get the data from your phone to the Mac version without wires. You use the data sync on this side, and it'll send the data to the other side. You can back up your data and store it on a flash key or on some other hard drive. You can export your data, flatten it into a JSON file, which I was going to use to train the AI on a DGX Spark, but then I found out that I can't do that. So I'm probably going to pull this pretty soon, but maybe it's handy. I don't know. It's a development tool. It wasn't really meant for you guys to use. The image exporter, where it'll export all your images so that you can run it through a data model training session. I can use my DGX Spark for this. This is where you could take a backup file and you can convert it into a JSON flat file. Once again, it was going to be used for AI training, and it just didn't pan out. So, but I left it in there. And Andre, the bowling coach, he loved my lane play, and he had 9,800 games stored on it. So I wrote code to import all his my lane play data. So if you're one of those people that are still using my lane play, you can use Spark Journal as well. I could import your data. I could, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could import your data if you have the same system that Andre had. I can make a code adjustment if it doesn't work, and I'm sure I can get it done. We have an about window. Now, keep in mind, this is version 2026.4.4, build 44. Um, if you're watching this 4 months down the road, you could have a much better version. So I'm just giving people a preview of this particular version, which is not out yet. And today is April 11th, 2026. So this version is not out yet. Um, I'm still trying to beef up the AI part so that I could have a much higher quality AI when I go to ship it. I'm probably going to ship this maybe Sunday night. Yeah, probably Sunday night. It's a lot better than it was on Thursday, last Thursday. So yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, I just like desktop apps. That's why this is good. This exists. I'm sure very few people are going to actually use this Mac version. Most people have an iPhone, but they got a PC at home. And for me, I'm kind of getting tired of my PC. I've been using Windows all my life since, God, what, 1993, I think is when the first Windows came out. So I like my Mac because it's peaceful and quiet. I don't get all these pop-ups and alerts and stuff like that annoy me. All right, that's it for now. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.